Hello, everyone, and welcome back to All Levels English Lab. I am Emily, and I am so happy that you are here with me today. This is episode 4 of our series, 20 Essential Daily Sentences, and we have another exciting set of expressions to explore together. Before we jump right into today's sentences, let me just take a moment to check in with you. How is your day going so far? Did you have time for a good breakfast, or maybe a cup of coffee or tea? Sometimes, before learning, it is nice to pause for just a second and remember that language learning is a journey. And like any journey, it is more enjoyable when we take it step by step, calmly and with curiosity. So let's do that today. If you are new here, welcome. All Levels English Lab is a place where we take English beyond the textbook. We focus on the real sentences, the real ways of speaking, that people use every single day in natural conversation. And if you have been following the series from episode 1, then congratulations. You are already building a fantastic toolkit of everyday English expressions. You should be proud of yourself. Today, we are adding 20 more powerful sentences to that toolkit. By the end of this episode, you will not only know what each sentence means, but also how to use it naturally, when to use it, and how it will sound in real life. So get comfortable, maybe grab a notebook, and let's begin. Sentence 1, did you point me? This sentence might sound a little unusual the first time you hear it. Did you point me? Is not a super common textbook phrase, but it can be used in situations where someone seems to be directing attention at you, maybe with a gesture or maybe in conversation. Imagine you are in class, and the teacher is asking a question, and you are not sure if the teacher is asking you directly. You could say, did you point me? Which is similar to saying, are you asking me? Or did you mean me? Another situation. Let's say your friends are talking and someone makes a joke, and you feel like the joke was directed at you. You can smile and say, wait, did you point me? It is light, playful, and shows you are checking. It is not the most formal English, but it is something you can hear in casual conversation. Try it the next time you are unsure, if someone is referring to you. Sentence 2, that's none of your concern. This one is a little stronger. That's none of your concern means that is not something you need to worry about. It is often used to set a boundary when someone is asking about something private or personal. For example, imagine someone asks you, how much money do you make at your job? You could politely smile and say, that's none of your concern. It may sound a little direct, but it is an effective way to let people know that the topic is private. Another example, a friend might ask, why didn't you answer my text right away? If you feel the question is too pushy, you could say, that's none of your concern. Remember, though, tone is very important. If you say it with a smile and a light voice, it will feel less harsh. But if you say it in a very serious way, it will feel stronger. So be careful with the tone. Sentence 3, it is not my concern. This is similar to the last one, but it works in the opposite way. Instead of telling someone not to worry, you are telling them that you do not need to worry. For example, imagine two people are having a problem at work. A colleague might ask you, what do you think about their argument? You could say, it is not my concern, meaning, it is not my business and I do not need to get involved. It is a polite way to step back and say that something is not your responsibility. Another example, maybe your neighbors are fighting loudly and someone asks if you will say something. You can respond, it is not my concern. It shows you are staying out of the situation. This phrase is useful in professional and personal contexts because it communicates clear boundaries without being too aggressive. Sentence 4, not in your life. This is a fun one. Not in your life is a very strong and expressive way to say absolutely no or that will never happen. Imagine someone says, you are going to sing karaoke tonight, right? And you are very shy about singing. You can laugh and say, not in your life. Or if someone suggests something you really do not want to do, like, let's go bungee jumping, you could respond, not in your life. It is often used jokingly with a smile or laughter to show strong refusal but in a playful way. If you say it seriously, it can sound more harsh, but most of the time it is used humorously among friends. Try it out in a light conversation and see how natural it feels. Sentence 5. Level with me. This one is very useful in both personal and professional situations. Level with me means be honest with me or tell me the truth directly. Imagine you are working on a project and you feel like your teammate is hiding some bad news. You can say, "Come on, level with me. What really happened?" Or in a personal context, maybe your friend is acting strange and you ask, "Level with me, are you okay?" It is a phrase that invites honesty and creates trust. It is less formal than saying, "Please tell me the truth," and it sounds much more natural in conversation. It shows that you are ready for direct and open communication. Try using this with a close friend or colleague when you want them to stop hiding and just speak openly. Sentence 6. Don't say a word. This phrase is used when you want someone to stay completely silent. It can sound serious or playful depending on tone. For example, imagine you are watching a movie and someone is about to spoil the ending. You can quickly say, "Don't say a word," to stop them. Another situation, if you are about to give a surprise gift and a friend already knows, you might laugh and say, "Don't say a word, it's supposed to be a surprise." It literally means don't speak, but in context it usually means don't reveal information. Try using it when you want someone to keep quiet about something specific. Sentence 7. Stop right there. This is a strong way of telling someone to immediately stop what they are doing. For example, if someone is about to walk into danger, like crossing the street without looking, you could yell, "Stop right there." It can also be used in a playful way. Imagine a friend starts telling an embarrassing story about you. You can laugh and say, "Stop right there," to cut them off. Depending on tone, it can feel serious, like giving a command, or light-hearted, like stopping a joke. It is short, powerful, and very natural in English. Sentence 8. You asked for it. This phrase is often used when someone does something that leads to a consequence, especially if they ignored a warning. For example, if a friend keeps teasing you and you finally decide to tickle them back, you could say, "You asked for it." Another situation, if someone insists on trying spicy food even after you warned them, when they start coughing, you might laugh and say, "Well, you asked for it." It means this is the result of your own actions. It can sound playful, teasing, or sometimes a little serious depending on the situation. Sentence 9. My heart dropped. This expression is used when you suddenly feel shock, fear, or sadness. It describes the physical sensation in your chest when something unexpected and negative happens. For example, if you receive an email saying you failed an exam, you might say, "When I read the subject line, my heart dropped." Or if you see a loved one in danger, you might say, "My heart dropped when I saw it." It doesn't mean your heart literally fell. It's a way to describe the heavy, sinking feeling that comes with bad news or sudden shock. Sentence 10. This song goes to you. This phrase is often used in a romantic or sentimental way. Imagine you are at karaoke or making a playlist, and you want to dedicate a song to someone special. You might say, "This song goes to you." It means the song is chosen especially for that person. Another example, a radio DJ might say, "This song goes to all the people working late tonight." It's a way of dedicating music to someone, either seriously or playfully. It creates a personal connection through music and shows thoughtfulness. Sentence 11. This must be it. This phrase is often used when you believe you have found the answer, the place, or the thing you were looking for. Imagine you are searching for a cafe your friend recommended, walking down the street, and finally you see the exact cafe sign. You can say, "Ah, this must be it." It is similar to saying, "I think I've found it." Another example, if you are trying to solve a puzzle and finally see the solution, you might say, "This must be it." It carries a tone of certainty and relief, showing that your search or confusion has ended. It's very natural in everyday English, and often used in both casual and slightly formal contexts. Sentence 12. Little did I realize. This is a storytelling phrase. Little did I realize means I had no idea at the time. It is often used when you want to show that something unexpected happened. For example, I thought the job interview went badly. Little did I realize they were actually impressed and offered me the position. It adds drama and surprise to your story. Another example, I was walking to the park. Little did I realize I was about to meet my future best friend. It sounds a bit more formal and literary, often used in writing, but you can use it in spoken English when telling stories. Sentence 13, little did I think. This one is very close in meaning to little did I realize, but it emphasizes your thoughts at the time. For example, I went to the concert just for fun. Little did I think it would change my life. It expresses surprise about how things turned out differently from what you expected. Another example, I joined the cooking class to pass time. Little did I think I would meet my future partner there. This structure is common in English storytelling, especially when highlighting unexpected outcomes. It makes your story sound richer and more dramatic. Sentence 14, lucky for you. This phrase is used when someone benefits from good fortune, often in a slightly teasing or playful way. For example, the store was almost out of tickets. Lucky for you, I grabbed the last one. Another example, lucky for you, the teacher didn't check homework today. It can be said seriously to show real fortune or jokingly with friends to highlight someone's good luck. Tone is important here. It can sound supportive, wow, that's great for you, or a bit sarcastic, depending on how you say it. Sentence 15, in your dreams. This is a fun and sarcastic phrase. In your dreams means that will never happen. It is often used jokingly when someone hopes for something unrealistic. For example, if a friend says, I'll be the next billionaire, you might laugh and say, in your dreams. Another example, if someone says, you're going to cook dinner for me tonight, you can reply, in your dreams. It is very casual, often used among friends, and adds humor. Be careful not to use it in formal or serious situations, because it can sound dismissive. Sentence 16, my gut tells me. This phrase means, I have a strong feeling or instinct about something, even if you don't have logical proof. The word gut here refers to your intuition, your inner feeling. For example, I don't know why, but my gut tells me this investment will be successful. It's like saying, I have a hunch. People use it when they rely on intuition instead of facts or data. Another example, my gut tells me she's not telling the whole truth. It's very common in casual conversations, especially when making decisions. It gives the impression of being guided by emotion or instinct rather than logic, which makes it powerful in storytelling. Sentence 17, sleep on it. This is an idiomatic way of saying, don't decide right now, think about it and decide tomorrow. The idea comes from the belief that a good night's sleep clears your mind and helps you make better decisions. For example, I can't decide whether to accept the job offer. A friend might say, just sleep on it and decide in the morning. Another example, we don't need to rush. Let's sleep on it and talk again tomorrow. It's very common in both professional and personal contexts, especially when someone is making an important or stressful decision. It sounds friendly, practical, and wise. Sentence 18, I will catch up. This phrase has two main uses. First, it can mean I will reach your level or position later. For example, if your friends are walking ahead, you might say, go ahead, I will catch up. Second, it can mean I will get updated or equal with what I've missed. For example, I missed 2 episodes of the show, but I will catch up this weekend. Or at work, don't worry, I'll catch up on the reports tomorrow. It's very flexible and widely used in everyday English. It can also mean I will catch up with you, which is used for meeting someone again to talk. Let's catch up soon. Sentence 19, look what you have done. This phrase can express surprise, admiration, or disappointment depending on tone. For example, if a child paints a wall without permission, a parent might say, look what you have done. Disappointment. But it can also be positive. Look what you have done, you've built a beautiful garden. Admiration. The phrase draws attention to the result of someone's actions. The tone, facial expression, and context completely change the meaning. That's why learners of English need to practice it in different situations. It's a very natural phrase in everyday speech, often used emotionally. Sentence 20. You are a sight for sore eyes. This is a warm and affectionate phrase that means I am very happy to see you. You look wonderful to me. It is often said when you see someone after a long time or when their presence brings comfort. For example, after a long trip, meeting a loved one at the airport, you might say, "You are a sight for sore eyes." It literally suggests that your eyes were tired or sore from not seeing something pleasant, and now seeing the person refreshes them. Another example, after being lost in the desert, water is a sight for sore eyes, so it can be used for people, places, or things. It's both poetic and common in spoken English, but usually in a warm or emotional context. All right, everyone, that's all for today's episode. We've gone through some very useful everyday phrases, broke them down with examples, and hopefully made them easier for you to use in your own conversations. Remember, language learning is not just about memorizing words. It's about feeling comfortable using them in the right context. If you found today's phrases helpful, try practicing them in real life. Maybe choose 2 or 3 and use them this week with your friends, colleagues, or even in front of the mirror. That way, they'll become a natural part of your English. In our next episode, we'll continue exploring more expressions and also talk about how tone and body language can completely change the meaning of a phrase. So make sure you join us again. Thank you so much for listening. Take care, and see you in the next episode.